Well, we ready to get started?
Let's do it. I'm so happy to get to introduce other people to this movie.
I don't know how they'll watch it though. I was like, this.
It's really hard to find. If you weren't at the Toronto Film Festival in like 2000, hey,
That's very specific.
or if you don't know how to torrent.
Plus, you should know kids these days don't know how to torrent. They've probably never gotten a virus from LimeWire. Like, come on.
What was the meme I saw the other day? I'm LimeWire years old. Like, fuck you.
And welcome to Unapologetic Geek Out, or the UGO podcast, where we geek out about stuff every week. I am, of course, Nick, the Merc with a mic, and my fellow unapologist right here,
Travis.
the god of the pod himself, and of course, a returning guest. We had him on for Story of Ricky. Oh shit! Last time, it was Les Y. Les, say hi.
Podcast Wolf.
Podcast Wolf.
No. Hey, it's Les.
Yes, a little did we know that, it's like, okay, so, now that you're up and ready, you've been softened up by Ricky, the story of Ricky.
Time to go full up.
Now it's time to take you to the full weirdness town and have you guys watch Wild Zero. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about that today.
Yeah, y'all are learning a lesson that my roommates learned in the late 90s, which is don't let Les pick movies.
Yeah, like I think that was the thing that Travis kept repeating as we were watching it. It's like, yeah, like Les isn't allowed on Netflix and Kill anymore.
This is going to go up there with Frankenstein Girl versus
Vampire
Girl.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
You would
kind
love
of
it.
is.
You would love it, Les.
Y'all want to watch Lava Lantula 2, 2 Lava 2 Lantula?
That's gotta be a thing.
It is a thing. It has almost the entire Police Academy cast.
What? Well, you're selling
And it's
me.
directed by Mike Mendez, that directed the Nubbins episode of Stan.
All right.
God damn it, Les.
Yeah.
Stop
Actually, I
it.
don't think he did the sequel. I think he only did Lava Lantula. I think 2 Lava 2 Lantula may have been a different director, but I'm not
Well,
sure.
you can't. Obviously, it was like, well, you can't repeat success
Yeah.
like Lava Lantula. So,
But we digress.
But we digress. I just wanted to get to the unapologetic segment of the show. What are we unapologetic about this week? And I know what I am.
Yes.
I am unapologetic about Brooklyn Nine-Nine getting back for the first 2 episodes. Guys, it's back. It's great. Better than ever.
And it's like getting really good ratings because fuck you, Fox.
Well, it's on NBC now, and it's there was the big story about getting revived, and I think that it had a bump, and plus, like, it had a giant fan base follow it from the Fox viewership over to NBC, so it makes sense that it got a actual bump in viewership as it moved channels. Not everyone gets that, but I thought it was very exciting. Les, what'd you think of the first few episodes back?
I didn't watch them like all of the rest of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
What? You don't watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I
you're
understand
a TV
it to
dude.
be. I understand it to be spectacular, and like the 4 episodes I've seen of it were all funny. But every time I think about that show, the first thing that pops in my head is Andy Samberg, and I really don't like Andy Samberg. It's like if you put Will Ferrell in the front spot of a great ensemble show, I'm still gonna have trouble remembering every time I spend time away from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then I think about it, like, oh yeah, that's that Andy Samberg show.
I get
And that's
it.
where it stops.
You are correct. Like, that is that's okay to feel.
Look, I get your hesitance. I get it. I felt it too.
And I really should think of it as that Terry Crews show with Andre Brewer. Like, there's such an Andre Brower.
So good.
There's such a great ensemble going on. Joe Trujillo. I mean, every episode I've seen's been funny, but it's kind of the way I treated Parks and Rec for a long time. Like, I feel like I checked in on the pilot initially and went, Andy Samberg. And that was like the last time I really paid attention to. So I feel like the jump from networks for a lot of people probably did what it did for me, which was make me look up and go, that's that show a bunch of my friends love.
Well, when you think of Andy Samberg, you think of stuff like, what was that?
Lonely Island is the best thing he's ever done for me.
Never Stop, Never Stopping, his SNL stuff.
Like, I never made it to Never Stop, Never Stopping because he so lost me on SNL.
He's always
and
just,
Hot Rod. Hot Rod was really
Hot
bad.
Rod. I was trying to think of it. I was like, what was that one where he's the stuntman? Like, and he's always just a little too much.
It's comedy. I don't know. It might have been great for other people, but man, comedy can really hit wrong, and
Yeah.
and for me, Hot Rod so didn't work.
Well, there's always a level of comedy where trying so hard to get the joke, and it's exactly what you said about Will Ferrell in a lot of his comedies, like Step Brothers or something, where it's like it's just one bit above throwing a pie in someone's face and spraying someone down with seltzer, of like really trying so hard to get a laugh and failing. Is
Well,
like
that's the thing.
Will
Like,
Ferrell's-
I'm not acting like that won't work sometimes. It's just that I always am disdainful of it, and then I'm surprised when I'm like laughing my ass off at a pie in the face. And so, like, it has worked. I really shouldn't. I don't want to ever disparage Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because literally every episode I've sat down for, I've gone, that is a really good sitcom. But somehow, I mean, I can't even put my finger on what sketch out of SNL, but something about his SNL years burned me on him like people are on Sandler now. And I just wrote off Sandberg, and I'm hoping that I plan to give these 2 episodes a shot, because the other TV dudes loved them, y'all are loving them, and I'm hoping that maybe I understand it got great ratings on NBC, and I'm hoping that that's what it did for a lot of people, is go, oh, that's that Fox show with Sandberg I didn't watch.
Yeah, it is surprising how good it is, considering Andy Samberg, whoever is directing the show or show running it, must know like to keep him at like 7 instead of 10. And he's like, wow, he's really funny. His timing, the way he's just
everyone on that show is fantastic.
he's got, but him especially, he's got just enough energy to really bring to the joke to make it funny, but yet it's not over the top. Like. Also, the structure of the show is really hilarious. Like, they don't do the will they, won't they forever. Like,
No.
they do, they start to actually have two of the main characters get together, and it's still funny after they get together. Like, almost no
It's like if
show
you
does
told
that.
If you told me Just Shoot Me was like a truly fantastic sitcom, and I would still be like, but it's David Spade.
David Spade.
though.
Yeah.
And I don't like him. And
Yeah, and
But
of
man, I
course,
fucking love Terry Crews. Honestly, Terry Crews is a national treasure, and like, I'm glad the show jumped networks. If nothing else, then he should stay employed forever and be on my TV.
Well, that and like Brooklyn Nine-Nine does great job with long-running gags. Like,
Oh, sure.
They are the king of long-running gags.
title of your sex tape.
So, check tape.
Long running gag,
That's the
that
thing.
is the
This
title of
is
your
a
sex
sitcom I
tape.
don't watch that has worked its way into like my friends' conversation lingo, so that I can't. I mean, I know what, the same as that's what she said. If you never watch The Office, like, it doesn't really matter if you don't watch The Office. You know what that joke is,
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is. I'm glad it is still kicking.
Yeah, it's it's really fun. I'm glad it's back. They kind of gave Holt a big like depressing arc in the beginning, which was really fun. Watching him be depressed is like really funny because he's still stone faced.
No
He's
matter
just
what.
talking about just the futility of life. It's just really funny, and wearing his pineapple slut shirt, which was great. I'm confused. Is the pineapple calling me a slut, or is the pineapple a slut? Obviously, the pineapple's the slut.
Clearly.
Also, The Good Place is been kicking ass as usual. In the last couple episodes, it was revealed that we were right, that it wasn't like the point system itself is fucked up.
Yep.
So I'm glad we called that one early.
Yep,
Yeah,
we
it's
did.
not hacking. It's that the point system doesn't account for the complexity of
Life.
industrial food chain and such. Yeah.
But also that means that Chidi was right. Because, like, back in season 1, they asked, like, wait, we're all in the bad place. Why is Chidi here? Because I was drinking almond milk even though I knew it was bad.
Yeah, he's technically right.
He was absolutely correct.
I mean, on a grander
the
scale,
almond milk
but
is
like,
probably what actually dug the grave there. Yeah.
I also love that they're a show that also put their two characters together and it's still pretty fun. Like
Yeah.
Chidi in a mailman outfit was really
That's
funny.
fantastic.
Oh, and have y'all seen the newest episode? Chidi sees the time knife.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes,
time knife.
That was as good as the Jeremy Bearimy dot for me. Like Chidi's expression, William Jackson Harper's expression when he, oh yeah, so okay, back on track. When I saw the time
knife. Yeah, it's the time knife. We all seen it. Like just
yeah, same, whatever. Like I saw all the layers of reality like thin sheets of metal folding into themselves into one giant blade.
yeah, the time knife. Yeah, we all see it. Like it's okay.
Love this show, but the judge just nonstop. Like, hey, so if this little thing doesn't work out,
Oh man, she's really into Chidi. Like,
and then her going to her going to Earth and coming back and like, there's a chicken sandwich, but if you eat it, it means you hate gay people. Also
people.
Delicious.
But it's so good, and I love Eleanor's like, right?
Oh gosh, show's fantastic.
Yeah. This
What
show never.
broker? She said she was at a Black Friday sale in Michigan or something.
Like, why would you go to there? For the deals.
The deals, man. And that's what finally broke her. Like, I'm like, this was just really.
The only
funny.
place she liked
Well,
was
the fact
Hawaii, but
that-
she never left the resort.
Yeah.
Well, then who convinced her that it was a good idea to give it a shot was Jason.
Yes. Jason's moment of
We actually had to rewind that because we were like, wait, what just happened?
Because
Which is dead on, yeah.
I'm like, Travis, Jason is saving the universe. Check this out.
Like, it was Jason speaking, so I just tuned it
Yeah.
out, and I was like, wait, this is important.
Like a broke clock.
No.
I mean, he's right twice a day.
He definitely, my friend at Jacksonville, he definitely didn't have time to, to research everything like that. And like,
And only the non-fried food in Jacksonville is illegal.
yes.
Right, any possession of
non-fried
a non-fried vegetable is a felony.
and felony in Jacksonville.
Oh man! And when he though earlier he's not right, but he makes a very astute, like a very plausible theory, more plausible than anything that usually comes out of Jason's mouth. When he looks around when they're in the international hole or interdimensional hole of pancakes, and says,
Yeah.
"Wait, I know what's going on here. We've taken too much salvia.
Yeah.
We have to wait this out for 2 or 3 minutes,
He's
and
gonna ride it
then
out.
we will be back in Pillboy's broken hot tub." And I was like, "Fuck, that's completely plausible."
He could be
Like,
right. I don't know.
I don't know if anybody else has ever actually done salvia, but you can go on YouTube and look it up. That's about what it is for about 3 fucking minutes.
Well, I even love Tahani, like, with the
Oh,
worm
God, the
thing.
scarf.
Scarf. It's like, oh, now I have a lovely scarf.
No,
don't
No,
touch
don't
it!
touch it.
Oh god,
It's
when Chidi
still the worm.
Yeah, I mean,
It's still the
That's how
worm.
he just gets up from his chair and takes a step forward. That's how he ends up seeing the time
What?
knife. Would you catch my tiny boyfriend? Oh fuck,
On
I
it.
love this show.
And I love that when we finally get to the good place, we see some people from the good place, and you're like, actually, it doesn't surprise. It actually started to sell me on like, well, maybe the bad place did hack the system because these guys are morons.
I love that
Yeah.
Immortality has made their bureaucracy absolutely ridiculous. Like
I love how
500
the
years is
judge
nothing,
can
so whatever,
the judge can see how complicated human life is in the fraction of a second, but it takes them 100 years to figure out what, like, to investigate their own selves for this committee to take action.
Yeah. Like they're so interested in looking into every fine detail because there's nothing but time. Whereas she's just like, can I get back to my stories?
Yeah, and then like
I think she watches like all of NCIS in a couple hours or something like that.
and like it's like I love like she cheats, like she's like, I'm supposed to become impartial, but I do every once in a while watch a TV show or
Yeah.
something. Like she'll watch all of NCIS. Yeah. And you know what? I really love Ted Danson in this show. Like his Michael as the reformed demon is
Yes.
really fun.
Well, and we're apparently about to get double dancings. It looks like.
Double dances, because now there's going to be like a evil Michael skin suit.
Yep.
And I love that he's like, the pressure is on, like, oh, we'll wipe their memories and make them think that you betrayed them if you fuck this up. And it puts so much pressure on him that he can't do it.
You gave the reformed demon anxiety. Way to go.
Oh yeah, when he completely craters in the clutch, and like well, I would assume on any regular show that Eleanor's about to take over running this neighborhood.
I would think.
But honestly, it's the good place. There is no fucking telling what happens
That's true.
in the first minute of next episode. I'm
Yeah,
eager to see who
it
the new
is-
people are too, because they've all gotten picked by the bad place, but no serial killers. Like,
No, it was fantastic, and it's a lot of the same producers and showrunners like that are involved with Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well, and Parks and Recreation. And that was funny because I was like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like, wow, this is the best sitcom I've ever seen on the TV right now. And then Good Place comes out, I'm like, whoa, this is actually somehow better than the best thing I saw, which just came out just a little while ago.
Right.
So I was like, they're really on point and killing it. It's hard to remember that this show is actually a sitcom, considering how much
that
it
it's
fucks.
not a short event miniseries or something. Like, to be both this heady and this funny, I can't believe that it's still going.
Well, it's like, it's not like what we were talking about before with Happy Town, less of like being willing to go fucking nuts with a storyline and just go off the cliff at any time.
Yeah.
Like,
you get this sense of, like, risk and play.
Well, remember at the start of season 3 where it was about them on Earth trying to figure out if
I barely remember the start of season 2 because they kept switching it up.
if they could.
Trying to rewatch this with people and keep your mouth shut, and I keep forgetting what happened and when things get revealed, and like watch it like, oh shit, that's not till season 2 shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, also, there is a video online you can watch of Ted Danson being taught how to do the floss because he had to do that.
Oh, the backpack dance?
Yeah.
Backpack Kid dance, because it just makes people happy.
Because it just makes people happy. Like, he's trying to do it. Oh, man, it's really fast.
Oh man, that's great. I got to look at the video of dancing, flossing.
It's the actor plays Chidi
Chidi is
teaching him.
just trying to get into him.
It's
so
great.
good.
He cannot figure it out.
Man, he's really struggling. Oh, man. Oh, and here's Christian Bale trying to help out, too. Like, I love how they're all trying to help him, and it's really sad. Like, for those of you got to find this online, because his eyes, Ted Danson's eyes of his concentration, like, it is the hardest thing he has ever done in the world.
Man, I love him for being a good sport about this. Like, I feel like if this were Community, this would be a video of Chevy Chase flipping everyone off.
No,
and refusing to floss or something.
Yeah, for Ted Danson, he has to be up for doing a lot of stuff. Like, the show asks him to do quite a bit. Like, so he has to be like the opposite of a Chevy Chase. He has to be willing to do basically whatever. Like, hey, you got to go through a whole midlife crisis in one episode. You got to do like it break down. You got to be afraid, evil, sympathetic. Like the Michael goes through so many transformations in the show. Like, I actually kind of feel like Michael's kind of the main character of the show,
Kind of?
considering he's the only one that remembers all the events
Right.
specifically. And
Kind of similar to arguing that Buffy's about Spike. You can argue that this entire show is about Michael's transformation from demon torturer to human, basically.
is there an argument that Buffy is all about Spike?
Spike. I think
okay.
it's Spike's dying line is like, so your whole arc was about redeeming me. Like, fuck you. And he dies. Like, this whole show is about me becoming like, no, fine, yes.
Whatever, you egomaniac.
As he like explodes into light and kills a bunch of shit. Spoilers for a decade-old show. 2-decade-old show.
Oh, don't worry, he comes back an angel. Which really undersells that moment of Buffy's finale of Sacrifice, and it's like, oh, don't worry, he comes back in the absolute next episode of Angel.
Meanwhile, Wash still dead.
Damn it! Oh, talking about characters, like talking about Wesley becoming a character. We can't get down the Angel hole here. Let's talk about the Future Man hole, because Future Man is back.
Oh yeah, the
Also a
bean
hole in
hole,
there somewhere.
formerly known as the rat hole.
Dude, the all bean. So I like that this show is willing to kind of go with a whole entire new premise too. Of, for those of you who don't know what Future Man is about,
Or is it taking the same premise again?
well, it's kind of interesting because the original season 1 was about Josh Futterman trying to, with the help of his future allies Tiger and Wolf, trying to avert the biotic apocalypse by stopping this cure from giving people enhanced like super abilities and becoming the superior race on Earth.
And being immune to all disease. and all
Last
that.
Starfighter with time travel.
Yeah. They reference that in the show. It's like, this is the last Starfighter.
Yeah,
Like,
and
this
he
is
straight calls him out on it. Like,
Yeah, and then so like spoilers for season 1. They basically get it done. Like it's a lot more complicated than they first thought.
Right, but they do the deed.
But they ended up getting it accomplished.
no, they made and dropped season 1 all in one, which was different than Hulu had done almost any of their shows thus far when they dropped that last year. And I really have to wonder. I think they made and completed Future Man without knowing there was going to be a season 2, because the season 1 ending is so clean and yet has a little bitty lightning hint of like maybe a time travel thing happening right at the last second, but you don't know what. I mean, it was a perfect, like, if we have to walk away, we can walk away. But
Clean enough.
we get a season 2, and
Yeah.
I feel like the choice they made to bump, I don't know how far y'all have seen, but to kind of bump Futterman to, he's like stories C through Z in like an evolving series of like movie rips and half plans and shit that they keep involving him in, while it really turns the show into what I was very happy to see, which is the Wolf and Tiger show.
Yeah, like that was what was surprising to me, is that after the first episode, Josh takes a while to get back into the story proper.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes are really like Wolf's journey and Tiger's journey.
It sucks because like it's interesting because we get to see what effect they had on the future, and everything is completely different. Kind of like what it was for Josh in that episode of like, so I have to just pretend that I know. Like it's like back to yeah. It's like he's like, oh, so this is what it was like in the Back to the Future. He had to just bullshit his way through the entire rest of his life. Like,
watching Wolf fall into
the 80s,
well, no, not the 80s from season 1, but fall into the new above ground and like his culture. Did y'all get far enough to get to the House Family Ties episode?
No, not yet.
We only watched like the first episode.
We're still on Tiger getting with the hologram or whatever. Like that was the last thing we saw. Yeah. So we last time we saw Wolf, he was injured by the biotics poison or whatever, and Tiger wasn't, which was like, oh, wait a minute, like is she a biotic or how does that work?
Well, we know she is. From
and
season
apparently, it's based off of her DNA now,
right? The whole like all the biotics are based off of her genetic genome,
like T1 making T2.
I like how they didn't stop. It's not like Terminator 2 where you can't change the future. Skynet always gets made. They did it, but the cure got made by someone else, and then they had to, instead of the war versus the cured people versus the non-cured people, it was a war for getting the cure.
Who got the cure? Yeah.
Who got the cure? That was what the war was about.
Same problem from the opposite side, kind of.
And now the war was a lot longer, and Tiger was like, well, I guess this world is kind of better than the one I left, but it still kind of sucks. Like, so...
The whole Earth is still dying.
Yeah. So I like how they solved their problem, but very much in the messiness of Future Man, like they just created another one. And, like...
And now there's not time travel.
Right. But they brought in time travel to this timeline now.
Right.
So now they fucked everything up.
They straight up explained why they have the only TTD. A little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Which is another fun. Like I felt like season 2 still goes the mile a minute that season 1 does, but it's hard to go up from how crazy season 1. I don't know. I loved season 2. Grant and Randy were not as thrilled with it. I think I don't know if there just wasn't any more room to change or grow. But I don't know. I'm eager to hear what you guys think about it when you get to see the rest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of sad that some of the side characters, like the cop from the first season, it looks like he kind of got like sidelined a little bit, and actually, but then again, his story was kind of done.
Yeah, so everybody from our time is pretty much gone.
Yeah, so it's like, but there were some fun characters there. I did love Wolf being so into the 80s. Like that's probably my favorite episode from the season 1.
And he still likes cooking.
Yeah, and his cooking is still his thing. Like. I love that when we see Josh wake up, he still has Wolf's cock.
Oh, yeah. And
that was crazy.
And Wolf returns to... Like, Wolf is having to bumble his way through, kind of like Josh had, through a future that's different with his family, who call him a different name, but they know him and everything. And,
well, I love how previously they were all animals, and now in this universe they're all
shit or tools.
Yeah, they're all tools or something, like torque and wrench and whatever.
And the new above ground is crazy. Like, it is this... It's probably my favorite thing in season 2. The new above ground is an extended Idiocracy rip on xenophobic, tech-hating, like, Luddite... The only way to be true to your family is, and to have good values and such, is to hate technology and hate outsiders, and like, they make everybody do the sewer mushroom test, which at the end of season 1, the sewer mushrooms that they grow to hurt the biotics, which is how we discover Tiger isn't affected by them. They use those as a test. Pants turn brown. Welcome to our town.
Yep. If your pants straight,
And,
pants stay dry, you're going to die.
Yeah, and like so, the nag is this amazing like rip on stuff, but it comes to have relations with his family, and he drops trow and has like they're expecting something. And it's like,
so,
oh shit, the gig is up. Like,
shit, didn't think that one through.
Yeah,
it's small and adequate, just like Josh.
when I hold it in my hand, it'll be like I'm holding his hand across time.
Okay,
Like a eulogy for your cock. It's weird.
That's I think my favorite part of the first episode we saw, which is like, when puppies died off, I sent the robotic one. They threw it. They hit it with a rock. I'm like, she's just like, yeah, you replace a
steady food source
with a
something
robot.
non-edible. Yeah. Like I would be mad too. Like just Tiger's whole mentality, like post-apocalyptic mentality, is still in effect.
Oh yeah,
and I like
yeah.
that.
There's a time later where she gets the opportunity to order anything she wants from like a food like Star Trek style, like any meal you want, and she orders cat tacos.
Ugh.
And then like hair out of them and everything, and then oh no, not just that, cat taco cooked over a garbage fire.
Nice.
And like, pink, and then
she spent a whole time in the 50s raising Kronish. Like, didn't she have like at least old time food or something?
Yeah, but I think it's like, oh
That's
no,
what
just
she
like
wants.
childhood, like
kind of like Eleanor in The Good Place. Like I smell I smell whatever is it happy in The Good Place. It was the chlorine from the
water.
fucking.
and
Like just like you can't go back. Like you're always happiest when you are when you're a child. I get it. Okay.
Jason, man, it smells like Blake Bortles winning a Super Bowl and then giving a shout out to his best friend Jason, and weed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or it smells like what was it? Almonds or wait, the absolute knowledge of the universe? Yeah, they have a similar smell. But yeah, as far as TV goes, we've been having a fun week, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And it's been really great. But we also watched a movie. I should also mention I went to go to the theater to watch a movie first. I just saw Bumblebee finally.
Yeah, you did. I did not.
Guys, Bumblebee's really good. They remade the Iron Giant, but still, it's pretty
I'll take
good.
that. That's fine.
I mean, if you have to rip off someone, rip off the best.
The only time it gets overt is where Bumblebee at the very end, remembers because he loses his memory. He remembers how to fight. His eyes turn red, and he starts shooting guns that we haven't seen before from his arms. And he starts taking out the military until his Earth friend has to go, "Stop, please! Remember who you are."
Superman.
And I was like,
Dude, if he
okay, if they
flies
say
at the moon and says
Superman,
Superman, I wept in the fucking
like-
theater at Iron Giant. So
I'm about to call
shenanigans.
I'm about to call bullshit.
I call shenanigans.
If he fucking... but no, it's actually pretty good. And not even just because, like, oh, it's pretty good for a Transformers movie. It's like, no, it's a legit pretty good movie,
Cool.
guys. Even, like, they even have fun with John Cena in it of, like, I don't trust these aliens that have come down to Earth. So like, oh, you're just being xenophobic. Am I the only one that's concerned that they willingly call themselves Decepticons? Like... Is that only a red flag to me?
It's a translation error. It's fine.
to serve man.
And I was like, yeah, the name is kind of a real dead giveaway there. But yeah, it was a fun time. I want to go see Glass this weekend just to see it. Because I'm very curious on how that turned out. But also, we saw a really weird movie on Les's behest. Les, we saw Wild Zero. Would you like to give the people a little taste of what Wild Zero is about? Just a random plot synopsis, because I would love to hear it.
Aliens come to Earth, and a zombie outbreak occurs, and in the midst of this, a kid who worships this rock and roll band, Guitar Wolf, fights his way through a bunch of zombies to rescue the girl that he's met during the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, pretty simple.
That makes it sound pretty straightforward and reasonable. Like, so when we watched Ricky O, I really wasn't joking on, like, this seems like a straightforward, easy to tell story about a super strong guy who gets thrown in prison and fights his way out.
Yes.
Like, cut and dry. Ricky O is a sane and normal film. compared to Wild Zero.
Well-
because Wild Zero opens with, like, Ed Wood level, like, yellow saucer...
Aliens.
Or like gold saucer aliens that are never explained. Not even really their tie to the zombies.
We
There's
never
a
even
meteor
see
strike
them.
in this
Like,
town.
we never see the
No,
ones
we never
inside
see the
them.
aliens. They're just there.
Chocolate is inside.
We can
them.
only assume that they've caused the zombie apocalypse somehow.
I believe so. Yes.
Yes, though at one point one of the characters pulls a gold ball out of one of the zombies, looks at it and says, "I understand now. I know how to kill all the zombies." That is never explained, and she clearly does not know how to kill all the zombies.
Well-
the gold ball is tied to a weird drug dealer gangster
Who doesn't like pants?
See, I
who doesn't like
I
pants.
kind
and
of read that the golden ball thing was a way to trick the military chick into helping them.
Right. Yeah, but she does say like she knows what to do now.
It seems like it answers some question.
For
I was
her,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
It's
like,
like
wait,
you could
what?
share. You could share this knowledge.
Maybe they
But-
were trying to get across, because the translation on these subtitles, it feels like it's not exactly translated.
No,
pretty
this is
forward.
definitely. I think it's not even translated. Like I think this is like how in The Simpsons they had grade A milk, not milk.
Yeah.
And like this is transliterated.
Yeah,
I
it's
think is what it says at the start. Like this is clearly fan done. I don't know where you've honestly, I don't know where you legitimately find Wild Zero to
Right.
watch it.
well, we found it on the internet and gave it a watch, and oh boy,
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. There's a Rotten Tomatoes score on this movie.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100%
really,
with 81% audience score.
nice,
No
I-
critic reviews.
no critic
Like
reviews.
the couple of critic reviews that I could find on it were like, "This is a perfect midnight movie, but there's almost no other time of day when it would play well."
No, you can't watch this in the light of day.
Like this thing just needs to run at like midnight at Fantastic Fest.
This is vampire rules. like, and yeah, this movie was so hard to get a read on for the longest time.
There's a lot of weird slow takes and
Like it focuses
this-
on what we only assumed was our main character, Ace, even though it cuts back through a lot of characters.
None of who have a story or are important at all.
Some of whom like just do not seem to be that important to the overall story, but whatsoever.
no, they just start turning up later, and you're like, "Shit, I should have marked your name."
Yeah.
because like people just kind of seem to be randomly thrown in. It's kind of a rock and roll road movie in the vein of like Rock and Roll High School with the Ramones. Like I know there was a plot to that movie, but who gives a shit? It's the Ramones in a movie, and that's kind of what this is. This is Guitar Wolf in a movie. The director, I think, had primarily done music videos. It's a Japanese movie shot almost entirely in Thailand, and I want to say they redubbed a bunch of the Japanese so that the accent wouldn't be weird. I can't remember where I read that. All in all, it is just an insane movie. I watched one cut of The Dead between the last time I saw it and this time, and I can't help now but imagine like all of the zombies just being people they shoved in front of the camera who were like with, no, I've got to find a bathroom, like...
So
Well, especially the one guy who just, as a zombie, is walking down the road and just collapses and doesn't get
he
back
doesn't
up.
get back up. Like,
Nothing hits him. Nothing shoots him. He just
he
collapses.
just falls off on of nothing and then refuses to move afterwards. And I was like, okay, one of the extras got drunk on set and was like,
Our
Well, and then,
commentary on that was probably my favorite part of that
like-
movie. It was just that scene.
I was
and then
just
a
like,
zombie
oh,
later knocks on a door and actually like lies, like, "It's me, open the door."
It's me. Open the door.
Yeah,
And I
like,
love.
I
was-
guess we just skipped like 4 Romero movies ahead. I guess zombies can talk.
I love when that one zombie fell, and I was just, can you imagine the director was like, Paul, get up. You're in. No, you have to get up in the shot.
You're in the shot.
Shit. Okay, we don't have enough time or money to reshoot that, so I guess Paul just died in that scene.
Can we put a laser effect in later that shoots Paul? No. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have money for that either. So, yeah, like the band themselves, Guitar Wolf.
Who are apparently real people.
Yes, that is
Well,
a real
apparently
band.
it's a real band.
That has been going for a while. They're kind of a mix between the Ramones and John Spencer Blues Explosion, but Japanese, and way into like 50s rock and roll culture in a delusionally scary way.
Yes. So, it was funny you mentioned One Cut of the Dead, because that's exactly what I was thinking too, was that, this reminds me of the opening 30 minutes of One Cut of the Dead before they cut out to
Yes,
explain
like
why everything
I
went
want
wrong.
to see the documentary of what was really happening that explains this movie.
Yeah, so the I love how Ace helps out our guitar guys, Guitar Wolf, was it Bass Wolf, Guitar Wolf, and Drummer Wolf.
Yeah, Drum Wolf.
And Drum Wolf are from a jam they're in with the
captain.
The club owner. What's his the captain?
Yep. I have it in my notes here. Who wears short shorts? The captain, and they're laced up the side.
Who is hates
with a weird
pants.
wig.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the wig, and I was like, "Oh, it's the long lost Japanese Beatle brother."
And of course, I had to reply, "Oh, you mean Rongo?"
Rongo.
And the absolutely strung out girl doing drugs on the table. But
hey, don't do all the pink drugs, my man.
When Ace helps out Guitar Wolf from this weird yelling argument, Guitar Wolf then makes him his blood brother.
Yes.
Gives him a scar that would basically mean that you are not able to drink in any bar. He gets a big X on his hand.
Yeah.
Gives him a whistle and says, "Blow it if you ever are in trouble." And then I just have in my notes rock and roll and because he just yells. Guitar Wolf just yells rock and roll a lot.
Constantly.
And slams every drink in his hand. But the captain runs out of the building and just fires a shotgun into a crowded street after them. That's the kind of dude this is. And then we get, I think in the next scene, we are introduced to the characters we were talking about earlier that I guess I'm supposed to pay attention to who y'all are. Because we meet Maseo and I'm blanking on this other two friends' names.
Yeah, Maseo's the only one we get to yell his
Toshi
name a lot.
and Hanoko.
Right.
And Maseo. And Maseo is the worst robber.
Yes.
I don't know what Maseo's deal was. He seemed like he was going to snap and kill everyone
and then
in
he
the
just
car.
freezes.
And then he just runs out and he goes to rob the gas station.
I thought he was coming down with the zombie virus, honestly.
Yeah,
and that's not
I thought
at all.
there was something going on with him.
That actually makes sense.
I thought because
Not
he
at all.
just stands there and he freezes for the longest time with two butterfly knives in his hands, long enough for our main character Ace to come in with the door and not accidentally hit him in the face with the door and save the day because he runs away after that.
Yep. And
even Ace was like, "Did I just save the day? What happened? Wait, what?"
So right after this, Ace runs out, and one of the people in the robbery that he saves is Tobio, who is about to be his love interest.
Just randomly when he shows up.
As soon as the butterfly knives come out, Tobio's out, and
she's like, "I'm done."
So
she faints so much during this movie, she has to be part fainting goat.
Yeah. And so I love that Ace gets a quarter mile down the road and we see zombies for the first time, or he sees zombies for the first time and realizes shit, that means that everybody I just left in that gas station, that means that girl I just saw that I like back in that gas station is going to get killed by zombies. And he debates whether or not to turn around, but he's scared. And this is the first time that Guitar Wolf, I think, straight up appears to him like Val Kilmer in True Romance. That's kind of Guitar Wolf's role in this, is basically Kilmer's not Elvis in True Romance. It just keeps appearing to Clarence. Mm-hmm. And he appears and says,
Guitar Wolf is
go
his
get her.
god.
Yeah. And
his spirit guide.
the flaming, I think we get another Guitar Wolf the band performance here, because I just have in my notes flaming microphone.
Yeah, that was cool. I saw that too. Is this microphone on fire? Because that's
just like
awesome.
his bike shoots fire too.
The microphone just shoots fire intermittently in the performance. And I'm like, that's kind of badass.
That's super dangerous. That's and Hetfield from Metallica would be like, no. Don't
do that. No.
Well, I did love how he tries to run away from the zombies too, and he gets on his bike and he's like, he's trying to get on the bike as fast as he can to get away. And when we cut back, the zombies have barely gotten around the car.
And this is
they're so
this
slow.
Is what made me so much think of One Cut of the Dead. Is there's so often where you can tell in order to get the action of the shot or to let the actors finish their lines or whatever, that the zombies have moved too close already and just have to hold a moment and move their arms. So there's a lot of is there an invisible mime wall between the zombies and you that they're not getting any closer? It's they crouch up on you and arr, arr, and just hold for a moment.
it only starts to make less sense throughout the
Yes,
film too.
right.
Of like, because Ace goes on a huge killing spree later, in which a bunch of zombies grab him, and none of them seem to are biting
Yeah, at
him.
no point
Like,
does
they
he
don't-
get bit. Yeah.
Like, no one remembers how to bite or something. Like, is it grab, then open my mouth, then close my mouth? Because I get to the grab, but then it's like, close. No, wait, my mouth's already
Then
closed. Damn
we
it!
have a side story of the arms dealer who's supposed to be making a deal with the Yakuza. And
Yep.
she is in what can only be described as a plaid bathing suit onesie.
Dude!
With,
think it
with
had a
quarter
diaper on the
sleeve-
bottom
with
and
quarter sleeve
fur-
or half sleeves that are fur lined. Yeah, and
Let's
shoulder
talk about
pads.
the most insane thing in this movie, which is that outfit.
Yeah,
It is.
made it into my notes.
legitimately
In a
is.
movie where like clothing choice should not even come up, like that outfit is James Bond weird, like fucking awesome.
I was obsessed with that outfit because the zombies rip her clothes, which were a tank top and shorts
And
earlier.
that's her
I'm like,
under,
God damn it!
Yeah.
So and
That's her
that's
backup outfit.
That's her backup outfit, and it's this weird, like it's a plaid onesie swimsuit,
But not like plaid
Like a
that you
black
actually
and white-
see on someone, but like plaid from a couch.
Yes.
like from a like it is like it,
Yeah, she
it's
looks
insane.
upholstered and fur lined in a bathing suit.
Like
With
it's
shoulder
something
pads.
that it's something that can only like it was surprising me when I saw this movie. It was like 1999. I'm like, that is an outfit that can only come from the darkest depth of the 80s,
Right?
Like, it's not even a bathing suit. It's like a diaper.
it's so
like, It's
weird.
a plaid diaper.
this fucking homunculus outfit, like, is an abomination to God. It seriously was. When it first showed up, I could not think of anything else on screen
yeah.
for the longest time.
I so want to see her and Connery in the Zardoz outfit, like,
Wow.
with thrones and swords and shit. Like, they should rule a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Like, if that shit's not in the next Mad Max,
Who run Bartertown?
those two apparently, because they're dressed like that and they fought in those outfits, so we're not fucking with them.
Two outfits enter, one outfit leave because they get combined together
It's
into one unbelievable.
three-quarters of an outfit.
Yeah, and then of course I love that Ace does get the girl that he likes.
Oh, yes, his whole,
he-
do you believe in God because I met you during the apocalypse? And then that segues straight into, I can't do anything right, I'm so uncool.
Yeah, and he gets real depressed about
Which
it,
prompts the weirdest cheer you up ever.
which was I thought it was like the woman Tobio he's with. Or gets like oh, I guess this pathetic speech really does it for her.
Yeah, because she's
she
like,
gets
I love you,
naked.
and she drops all of her clothes and reveals that she is transgender.
Yep. And like in his words, she's like, she has a penis? So that was interesting and never brought up again.
But
Yeah, no.
it's not so much that it's not brought up again. I've never seen a movie bring it up and then resolve it with such a succinct slapdown. Because he runs into the other room, like, in tears, freaking out, like, no! And Guitar Wolf appears to him and yells, like, basically, you dope, you love her, rock and roll knows no gender or boundaries.
Well, he says rock and roll knows no boundaries. And then later, Ace goes like, "That's what he told me. It knows no boundaries or genders." And I don't think that's what he said. In fact, I don't even know if that's what he understood. Like, I don't think you came across of what the deal was with her being that. But he did take the right message from it.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
And
really.
for
And
a
it
movie
was, like,
made in
it's
2000,
one of the only-
that they brought it up
Yeah.
at all was surprising to me. Like, that they even had a character that was transgender at all. But that they bring it up and have a character like, oh my god, and his mentor's like, shut up. And he's just like, yeah,
Well-
you're right. I love her.
It's the most progressive Japanese
I-
film I've ever seen deal with that at
It's
all.
one of those,
right?
like, I feel like even in 2019, I don't know that they would, like, deal with it so beautifully succinctly of just, like, I mean, it's almost like Elvis shows up and slaps him, like,
Fuck you, nut up.
even
exactly.
like me and Travis are continuing to watch my new favorite anime, which is How I Got Reincarnated as Slime, which has got to be one of the best anime I've seen in the last 10 years. Regarding tropes from Japanese culture and their storytelling. And even that one goes, oh, the two girls, one of them's a secretary and one of them is a seamstress. That's their job. And I'm like, well, baby steps, I guess. Like, Japan's really weird about their sexuality and that.
Japan's just weird.
And
Tokyo
so
is still
like,
very much a damsel in distress. Like, she faints at every scene and has to get saved and all. But I remember the first time I saw this, which is, God, like 10 years ago now. And I remember just being shocked at, like, not that his character freaked out, but like, oh, God damn it, I don't want to watch a whole act where he hates her.
yeah, like where that's the joke or whatever.
Yeah, like Ace
oh,
Ventura.
no.
Like, if he runs into the other room and throws up for 15 minutes, like, I'm probably done. This is gonna. And then he runs into the other room, and his mentor appears to him and is like, "No, you're being stupid."
Yeah, that was pretty cool and unexpected. I was
Just
like,
wholly
oh,
unexpected.
okay.
Almost as unexpected as the next scene, which I just have it in my notes that everyone Guitar Wolf shoots is my favorite kill. But the electric picks he throws.
God, that was amazing.
Whoa, okay.
He has an
so,
endless supply of electric picks because
Yes.
reasons.
So Guitar Wolf, like, once they actually hear the whistle that Ace goes off, that's how they know he's in trouble.
He must be part dog.
And I love that he put his hand up like, wait. No, false alarm. It's just that Jimmy Olsen guy again trying to go for Clark. Yeah. It gets mixed up all the time. And I love that he can hear the whistle and he feels when the whistle is grabbed by a zombie. Like, it's like, what?
But also, it does not seem overly concerned with getting there in
Still
any
cool.
amount of time.
Well, and then it's like they pick up the stragglers on their way there. They hook up with the military chick. They trick her into thinking that gold balls are in the zombies. The zombies are smart enough to trick people into opening the door, but not smart enough to open the door
And they get into the
themselves.
fucked up weapon storage where, like, Guitar Wolf is arming up to go save Ace. And I love, like, I think it's Hanoko picks up a gun and looks at the weapons dealer chick and is like, I'm gonna ground an arm up and blah blah blah, and she takes that gun away from him and gets to like a badass like, nah, don't fuck with me line back at him. But then of course she immediately falls for Zombie Kondo coming back in, and then this is them opening the door and people running out. Has one of the best moments of what I'm pretty sure are just people standing just out of frame, waving severed arms back and forth. Because it has a very, like, in the mist, like, there's just zombie appendages kind of flopping around in the mist.
Well, also, like, I think it was the character Toshi is the guy, that she must have just wanted him dead because she had her gun up, raised, ready to shoot anything that came through that door. He opens it because she forced him to, and just... She watches as he gets bit.
She waits for him to get bit before she shoots. Yeah. Like, there's no other way to read that scene. Like, haha, screw that guy.
Yeah.
Like, and then I love that. Yeah, like when Ace of them throw up, he's got like electric guitar picks, and I was like, wait a minute. So is the band magic? Like,
well, even the military chick asked, like, "What are you?" Like, that is a good question.
Yeah, that was.
Guitar
I feel
Wolf. Like Guitar Wolf is the full answer.
And I love how they were like, I was hard to tell because they never changed their facial expressions, but it's like, is this weird to them? Or is this like, do they know how the zombie apocalypse and aliens thing, what's happening? Like, how involved are they?
They just kind of, well, I like that they're just disaffected cool through the whole, like, oh, yeah, we got this.
And I love how they have a whole warehouse full of guns, of like M16s, like just crazy amount of weapons. And Guitar Wolf still just uses like 6-shooter revolvers, and the military chick never brings anything that isn't a Desert Eagle. Like,
Yeah.
Well, also, like, where did she get that much guns?
When,
like, this isn't America.
Like, yeah, it's
and then
not America.
Toshi, then the captain finally shows up and has a bazooka or something, and I think blows up the building that they're in. And Guitar Wolf rides the explosion out and lands in like nearly an Iron Man 3-point stance.
Superhero landing.
Like full superhero landing, and hits the guitar chord.
Ding.
I was like, man, that is fucking
rock
awesome.
and roll.
Rock and roll.
And,
and now the captain has I-beams.
Dude, okay, so the captain here, he grabs Toshi, and I have a hard time, like, does the captain, does he know that they're zombies or whatever?
No, because he kidnaps the Toshi, and just, like, he kidnapped a zombie. What the fuck?
And it does bite him.
And they even ask, they're like, who is that guy using that guy as a shield? Does he know that guy's a zombie?
Yeah. And all the other zombies don't seem, like, they seem to not want to eat him. I can only assume because he was bit and he's about to change.
I have no idea.
I
Who
think.
knows?
I don't know.
It's like I sincerely feel like 3 movies wandered onto the same set.
Well, and then it's like no one can seem to recognize that these things are zombies when they first read under them. Like the Yakuza guys, they run in and are like, get these guys out of the road. And I'm like, half that guy's face is missing.
Right?
How do you not know that these guys are at least if and it's revealed later they know what zombies are. There's zombie movies exist
There is
in this
one
universe.
zombie that nobody's seen.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone's all like, I'm pretty sure they're trying to think of Dawn of the Dead or
They're
something.
like, have you
or
seen
no-
that movie? No, I haven't seen it. I mean,
Fuck.
I'll watch it now if I'd known there was going to be.
It's like that. It's like a non-scene of like, you know that scene in every horror movie where they're like, oh, it's like this movie, or like the guy who knows the movies.
Uh-huh.
It's said it's a scene of a whole bunch of people trying to
don't
figure
know
out
it.
the one movie. Like, nah, none of us saw it. Like they're just
I would have watched it if I'd known this was going to happen.
they're trying to figure out through cultural osmosis of like none of us have seen this movie, but like maybe pop culture influence enough, like it just bleeds through. Maybe we know enough about this thing to deal with it.
We should also mention, I think Guitar Wolf at one point survives electrocution by howling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he
Yeah.
discharges like a terminal
Well,
amount of electricity,
That's how the captain
and that's
dies.
how the
is
captain
via-
gets his eye beams.
Yeah, and I loved it because he was like he gets electrocuted, and I wasn't sure why, and like because there wasn't really a power source next to them.
I think he's
and
just-
I loved.
yeah.
He's talking about the Guitar Wolf of like their past because apparently they know each other from before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember the old times? And I was like, yeah, where my feet had sparks on them for no reason.
Yes.
You know the old times. Like,
Yeah, because his
they've been-
feet start like electrocute, sparking, and yeah. And I mean, this is when then the captain gets back up with eye beams, and I don't know
He
if
gets
it's
back
bass
up.
or
He
Guitar
takes
Wolf,
off his
or
he
bass or
takes
Drum
off his
Wolf.
wig.
Yes.
He takes off his wig to reveal like a Dennis Rodman blonde, bleach blonde haircut underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Then his eyes start to go into green fire, and then he shoots eye lasers to across at Guitar Wolf or whatever. And I was
it's
like,
a full Repo Man level of fucked up at this point.
I was like,
yeah.
wait, what?
It comes out of nowhere.
Even me when I was watching this movie, I was like, this movie's insane. I guess I'm just gonna kind of roll with it. Even that reached a level of like,
What?
I'm like that. I was like, I didn't think I could be more lost, but here I am, surprisingly corrected. I stand surprisingly corrected. Like, and then he shoots one of the UFOs with the I beams that have been flying
'cause
around.
I was
apparently.
like, okay, so the captain is one of the aliens or something, and then he just casually turns and blows 2 aliens up. Like, all right, he's not with those guys. Like, this is clearly just a rogue agent dude that got random eye beams. And then I don't know if it's bass or drum that shoots him with a bazooka that catches in his belly and he explodes, and that finally kills the captain.
Not only does he explode, he incinerates.
He evaporates.
Yes.
There is nothing left of
There's
him.
nothing left of him. He is gone from this world. As he doesn't exist anymore. And I love that those two, Bass Wolf and Drum Wolf, were in the car just fucking around the whole time.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
have a
oh
whole
shit,
scene
sorry
where
we're
they're
late.
Like, we were doing drugs and hanging with zombies
Pretty
while we
much.
were listening to rock and roll. I'm like, you assholes! Like,
And Ace is just running around screaming Tobio
right.
on a mini bike.
Like-
He's not even got a full size motorcycle anymore. He's on like a mini bike.
Yeah, like some sort of moped-looking
Yep.
thing.
And then I love that we get like this Anna in the Apocalypse, Toshi and Hanoko zombies find each other and
Yeah.
and
Which-
kiss.
We haven't even
And it
talked
even
about their
it even
characters
gets a heart around it in case
Yes.
you didn't like get the sweetness of it. I also love that when Bass and Drum Wolf show up, they have a bottle of Jet brand.
Sake.
I don't know if it's whiskey or what, but Guitar Wolf, the band, have their own like clothing label, which is Jet clothing, and I assume that liquor is theirs too because it's in a box that says Jet on the side. He throws it to him, he catches it, opens the box off frame, and then just the only way Guitar Wolf drinks anything, like straight up chugs it, and then I guess with a bit of liquid courage in him, Guitar Wolf runs to the roof of the building. Somehow disregards the strings on his guitar to pull.
Well, the mothership.
Yeah.
The mothership has arrived at this point,
Yes.
so he jumps up to the top of the building
and pulls
and his
a
guitar,
sword out of his guitar, like strings be damned.
which I was like guitar katana, and I was like, that is fucking awesome.
It was pretty
And then he
Like, that
just
was great.
kneels and guts the fucking mothership. Yeah, courage and rock and roll.
Is like That was insane. Like the most insane thing for me though was another moment where Guitar Wolf first shows up to rescue Ace, and he shoots. Still got the revolver, and he shoots once, and two zombies.
Two zombies, not in line, not like Deadpool style.
No,
yeah, not Deadpool style. I mean Kennedy Magic Bullet style.
Like I was like,
explode.
What happened? Wait, what happened there?
It's just that badass. Like the second one exploded out of respect.
That was like I couldn't wrap my mind around it. And then afterwards, a car pulls up behind him, and I was like, "Whose car is that?" And then he blows up that car.
And he turns and blows the car up. Yes.
And he shoots it with one bullet and blows it up.
To be fair, shooting cars and them exploding is actually pretty common in action movies. Shooting two zombies with one bullet, that's weird.
But who was that? Who was in that car?
I'm pretty sure the zombies were driving it.
I think the zombies were driving that car.
Like, but how?
Like, as long as the door is open, they can drive the car. They're the opposite of the Raptors from Jurassic Park. They can't open doors, but they can do everything else.
Sure.
They can do everything else, yes.
Oh, boy.
This movie is so just whacked out and crazy and yet, like, weirdly sweet at moments, and it reminds me, it seriously reminds me of, like, Rock and Roll High School and just goofy Ed Wood type shit. But nobody's seen, I mean, it's just nuts. It's so fun, and nobody's seen it.
Yeah.
Well, so you're going to talk about like the whole Toshi and Hanako, like when they spend half the movie running to like a Benny Hills run.
Oh, they speed up the take of the, for whatever reason, they speed up the film when they're running, and it looks like it looks like Benny Hill.
Scooby-Doo, like,
yeah.
Yeah, they should get Yakety Axe in there.
They have this whole, like, it's supposed to be a romantic love story, but they only act like they hate each other the whole entire movie until they're dead.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I was having a hard time remembering if they were in a relationship before the zombies kissed each other.
Well, they did show them kissing, although it looked like they were trying to devour each other's faces.
Yeah, I kind of felt like their first bonding moment was when Hanako almost drives off and leaves Masao inside. Like when they run back to the car, like, fuck that guy. Because it didn't seem like they were a couple. I could have just as easily assumed Masao was her guy or his guy, or by the end of the movie, they're clearly in love because they put a heart around them. That's how you know.
Before they die, when the mothership kills all the zombies for whatever reason.
I still don't know if those were two wholly independent things. Like, did a meteor hit and an alien invasion, and like the aliens back on the mothership are like, oh shit, we planned this bad. No, they had like a zombie meteor hit them. Like, really? This week? Yeah, no, just bad timing. So we're going to scrap our invasion plan, let that play out.
It's so funny how they keep showing the flying saucers, but have them not doing anything.
Nothing. Like, just and it's really happening. Like, it's in the news in the background of.
Oh sure,
it's happening all around the world.
They're invading stock footage all over the world.
Like the whole time the captain's driving to go kill Guitar Wolf for, again, a totally unknown reason. It's on the radio of like, don't go outside. The government will get this under control.
I love the clearly like super fake stock photo of the Statue of Liberty. Like,
it
looks ridiculous.
Yes, when they show all the different locations because they're all around the world.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that has such a small budget, they have to like make an excuse for why there's no one on the street or road.
Well, I'm pretty sure those flying saucers were actually just like tinfoil wrapped in like a Hershey's Kiss, just flattened or something.
Well,
I love the idea that only Japan survives. Like, I had a moment of the movie of like, so if other cities don't have an equivalent band,
if they don't have their own Guitar Wolf,
then like. Did somebody, did like a band in Brooklyn or something, like get to the top of the roof and pull like a large gun out of something?
Probably.
And like just
there's only be one mothership, and you just had to take on the mothership apparently.
Oh, 1999. No, the Beastie Boys got us.
Oh yeah,
they fought aliens in one of their music videos, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, some dude in West Virginia runs up to the top of a mountain and pulls a chainsaw out of a banjo.
Intergalactic starts playing. So yeah, this movie was nuts.
So I think I already know what the next movie we have to watch then.
Oh, what
Six
hour?
String Samurai.
No, because Guitar Wolf, who by the way was born in 1963.
Whoa, how old are they?
Well, 1963.
Like how old was this movie? 1999.
band's-
Damn, they're a lot older than I
2000.
thought they were.
Yeah. There is
They formed in '87 in Nagasaki.
There is a 2018 movie that Guitar Wolf has an acting credit for. Mm-hmm. Not even as himself, but like an acting credit.
Ooh.
And it's called Phonotune and Electric Fairy Tale.
Okay.
The synopsis is: outside of time, a teen hooker, lo-fi cowboy, and mute drifter cross a white desert to experience the final gig of their mysterious rock star hero.
Wow.
Sold.
I'm into it. Okay, well, Les, thank you so much for introducing us to yet another crazy fucking movie. I don't know, 4 out of 5, I guess.
Don't ask me to rate this.
Whatever.
I cannot rate this. This movie is outside of a rating system.
Yeah, it's fun. I if you get a chance to hunt it down and watch it with a bunch of friends, at the Alamo Draft House where you can drink, that would be like my preferred method of watching it. That's for sure.
Yeah, the 2 previous times I've watched this movie, I think I took it over to someone's house with inebriants in tow of like, this is what's
what we're
happening.
doing.
We're getting fucked up and watching this movie.
Les, you sound like your own, like people's own Guitar Wolf. You just show up and whistle when you need to.
We're going to watch this movie, rock and roll, jet movie. Go, go, go!
I'm TB Wolf. Well, thank you so
man.
much for joining
Yeah.
us again, Les. Would you like to tell the people where they can find you and your content online and, the Good Die Young, all that shit?
Yep, so the GoodDieYoungTV.com, which I believe is in the next couple of days should update to new stuff. So that's very, very soon. Then the TVDudes.com, and yeah. And then obviously I'm all over Pod Against Evil, and you can go back and check out Ricky O'Shit, and then at some point I'm going to get y'all to watch Six String Samurai.
I look forward to it.
Boy.
Travis sounds dubious. It's in English.
Travis,
Okay.
Travis has a different relationship with bad movies than me.
I'm a friend of yours, so yeah.
You liked Venom, though. That's what vexes me.
I like Venom because you hated it.
It's like so sexy. Well, get him, Venom. So yes, and you can also find our previous catalog of stuff, including Les was on, our previous episode, as well as a bunch of stuff on Netflix and Kill. Just check us out on iTunes and all that. Our Stand Against Evil podcast, where Les was a frequent guest. It's Pod Against Evil on iTunes and Stitcher as well, or wherever really you can find podcasts. We're everywhere, guys.
Yep. There's a wallet on Nick's ass with a rock and roll license.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that my microphone actually changes into a katana.
It also has on fire.
Yeah,
It also is on fire. It's a very complex
recording
piece of
podcasts
machinery.
in your apartment, it's a little weird to have the mic shoot fire, but I think it's worth it.
Yes,
I have to make sure where I'm sitting is just out of the range.
Fire code people do not like me. But yes, until next time, guys, we're on the Park and we're out.